spring fling. It's a spring fling dance. Get your groove on. Oh, my lovely ladies and handsome gents, welcome once again to Talk to the Hand Reviews. If this is your first time, I'm Bold Reviews Lady, and I like to talk about stuff. I like to talk about perfumes, I like to talk about makeups, I like to talk about other stuff too, but usually perfumes and makeups. Anyway, today I thought what might be fun is to do what so many YouTubers do, a spring perfumes collection. Well, what I wanted to do was do something slightly different and show you a few fragrances that you probably can't find at Sephora. Some things that you kind of might not have heard of. I know some of them you've heard of, but probably not all of them. So without further ado, I'm going to bring them on! Bring on the perfumes! Now this first one is an oldie but goodie. It's actually not an oldie but goodie. It is an oldie. The company is an oldie, but the fragrance is not that old. Although this newish fragrance is very similar to this very old fragrance. It is 4711 Aqua Colonia, and this version is the green tea and bergamot. And if you're not familiar with 4711, it's kind of like was the very first shared fragrance really that existed, and I forget when it was made, but it was made like a really long time ago. I think maybe like, no, I'm gonna get it wrong, but I mean it was like either the early 1900s or it might have been prior to that. It was 4711, because when it came out, when the original 4711 came out, it was kind of like there weren't really any fragrances fragrances weren't really for women or men. They were just fragrances. So 4711 was kind of one of those that a lot of different people could wear. It's very fresh. It's like it's fresh, but it's got these like slightly disturbingly, not disturbing, but disturbing the way that musk is. It makes you go, you know. So this is a really pretty one though. It really smells a lot like the original 4711. However, it has the green tea and bergamot added to it. And I really like this one. Not only do I like this fragrance, but look at the bottle. It's so pretty. Like when I pick this up, I feel like it's such a beautiful little piece of art that I'm getting to spray all over myself. So number one, 4711 Aqua Colonia Green Tea and Bergamot. By the way, this version was created by the perfume nose was Elise Benot in 2020, and it is considered a shared fragrance. So there you go. Okay, number two. I think this is like my new signature fragrance because I reach for it all the time. I've only had it a short amount of time, and I've already made a little bit of a dent in it. But I find that this fragrance is it's like this soft, sweet, never disturbing type of floral fragrance. It is Cabotine Rose. Cabotine Rose. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna spray it around now. You better look out, you're gonna get some all over yourself. Oh my gosh. This to me is just such a beautiful, soft, floral fragrance that, you know, I'm really sensitive to fragrance. I've always been sensitive to fragrance, more now that I'm older, and also I have these strange illnesses that I'm not gonna get into, but I can't always handle. Even the perfumes I love, I can't always wear them. But this one, I can wear it like all the time. I could douse myself in it. It disappears on me, but I still smell it in my clothes. And what we used to tell people, when you wear a fragrance, when you put a fragrance on, and then you don't smell it anymore, but everyone else goes, "Ooh, wow, you smell good," that's usually a sign. And this is what they told me when I used to work behind the counter in fragrance and cosmetics in the late 80s and 90s, was that if you can't smell it, but other people compliment you, that it goes well with your chemistry. Is it true? I don't know. I just know that that's what our bosses, our perfume bosses, told us. So this one, it's like, does it smell like rose? I would say it doesn't exactly smell like rose, no. But it smells like beautiful, is it sweet? Slightly sweet, but not terribly sweet. It's just, to me, it's like perfect. And this cute little cap. This cute little cap. And this is very affordable. That's not the case for every Gres. Sorry, it's Gres, not Gres. It is more affordable than a lot of them are. And I'm so thrilled that I bought it. And, you know, it's probably not my last bottle. It's my first, but probably not my last, because this is the one right now that I reach for all the time. It might be really, I mean, my signature scent, you know? So anyways, Cabotine Rose by Gres. Check it out. Okay, number 3. This fragrance is created by Yardley, which is a very well-known, very old fragrance company. And it's time for a dance.
The mic is still, we don't fear it, got the spirit that's real, and this is how we come on grab the mic is still, we don't fear it, got the spirit that's real, and this is how we come on grab the mic is still. Yo, what I got is got the lyrics that are hot, and I'm smoking a pot. Freaking in the basement, want more.
Oh yeah.
Man named George.
It's spring, baby. Woo!
People know we got the speech in the street, like
people know we got these perfumes in the street, and we're smelling so good.
So supplying, you trying, yo. We don't fear it, got the spirit is real, and this is how we come around.
We got the spirit, it's real. And this is how we come around. We got perfume all up in your face. As I was saying, this is from a very old company, and there's actually a really old version of this fragrance, but they reformulated it. And let me see, I can tell you. Well, I'll just show you. It's Yardley Lily of the Valley. Are you familiar with Lily of the Valley flower? Because I am. I have some. I have some in my garden, and they are these adorable little tiny flowers, and they are so fragrant that they will take over the entire landscape with fragrance from these teeny tiny flowers. This embodies those little flowers. This is the newer version. Let me consult my notes. Okay, it was originally created in 1920, but again reformulated in 2015. It's called the Contemporary Edition. Now this has different notes from the original one, but I ain't never smelled the original one, so I don't know. But this one, this smells like those little flowers in my garden. And if you really want to embody spring, you know, there's hardly anything else that you can do that smells as springy as a Lily of the Valley flower. So, Yardley Lily of the Valley. Okay, this one you might have heard of. This one is new. This one is from MFK. Maison Francis Kirkdjian. It is 724. I have my little sample I got that came with my Lacrois Rouge 540. I'm not very good at spraying with these little guys anymore. My hands are weird. Part of that mystery illness. Oh my gosh. This is such a great fragrance. It's so complex. It's so fresh. I smell lots of green. Very green. Very fresh. Very uplifting. 724 is from, of course, Maison Francis Kirkdjian, and Francis Kirkdjian was the nose. It was created in 2022, and it is a shared fragrance. it's another one of those really great fragrances that he has created, similar to Baccarat Rouge 540, that is a shared fragrance. Yet, if I were still working in fragrance and cosmetics back in the day, you could have this at the men's counter, you could have it at the women's counter, and you wouldn't say this smells like a man's fragrance or this smells like a woman's fragrance. You know, you'd just be like, oh, that's nice, that's really fresh. But you could actually, it kind of reminds me, you know what this reminds me of? Chanel Egoist Platinum, a little bit, as I used to wear that. It's a men's fragrance, but I used to wear it. So anyways, 724 from MFK. Moving on. So this is another one you might have seen around, you might have heard of, but it's not the most popular fragrance. It's from Oscar de la Renta Fragrances, which I used to work for Oscar as a promotional rep in the mid-90s. No, the early 90s. It was the early 90s, I think. I don't remember when, but it was something like that. And at that time, Oscar, back then, see, fragrance companies did not really come out with what they call flankers nowadays. It was rare for fragrance companies to release new fragrances, but that's not the case now. Like, they are constantly releasing new stuff. And but this one came out. Wait a minute. This one is So de la Renta. So de la Renta. This could be a summer fragrance too, but I just thought, oh, it's equally pleasant as a spring fragrance. It's a Yeah, I think this is more spring because it's more gentle, and even though, now see, at first I thought this fragrance had a kind of a funny, weird tinge to it, like, because I really liked the fragrance. When I bought it, I loved it. But then I felt it had I don't know, a synthetic something to it, but now it's gone. I don't notice it at all now. It smells, to me it smells floral and citrus and fresh. And look at that bottle, isn't that pretty? Gorgeous. I just love the beautiful perfume bottles that they make. So this is considered a floral fruity, and it was from 1997, and the nose was Alias Hermenides. So Oscar de la Renta, So de la Renta, it's called. So de la Renta. So that's another one you may or may not have heard of. Do you like my hyacinth? My forced bulb hyacinth? This really is one of the first spring flowers as well, but not before Lily of the Valley, I don't think. Well, maybe. I just don't have any of these in my garden. So it might be, but I know it's an early spring fragrance. It's a spring bulb. I believe it's a spring bulb. Oh my gosh, am I wrong? Is it? No, it's spring. It's considered spring, that's right. Isn't it pretty? How are you? Are you ready for spring? Are you ready to go out and do those things you've been wanting to do all winter? You've been looking out at the gray weather. I mean, unless you live in California, in Southern California. If you live in Southern California like I used to, then you know the sun is always shining and it's always golden. Like, honestly, before I left Southern California, I had only really seen snow very minimally, and it wasn't in Southern California. I didn't even really, you know where I saw snow for the first time? I had a job I was doing. I was working in Korea, and that's the first time I saw snow was in Korea. Okay, here's another one that probably a lot of you have never heard of. It is kind of unique, and it's really a unique fragrance too. It is Fleur d'Osmanthus from Roger&Gallet. Now this fragrance, you know, I did a review on this fragrance, and someone said that they didn't care for it. They thought that it reminded them of like what a vampire in Twilight would wear. But I like it. It's just that it's there's something really subdued about it. But it is a really nice fragrance. I feel like there's a lot of green in here. I don't know if there is. I don't remember what the notes are. But the osmanthus, it focuses on the Chinese osmanthus flower. And this one, it's really fresh, and it's the kind of fragrance that, I mean, this could be a shared fragrance, but I don't think it is. It's like a really kind of a subdued floral, it reminds me of sitting in the shade. Like, it reminds me of sitting in the shade when it's warm outside, when it's really humid or something, and you just have a moment to sit back, get yourself a sip of tea or something like that. This is this calming, non-invasive, subdued floral fragrance. So that's why I chose it for the spring. Yeah, so this is another really nice one that you've probably missed. Is probably not on your radar. Roger&Gallet Fleur d'Osmanthus. Now here's one you probably have not heard of. Look at this bottle. I know you're gonna be like, what? What is that? What is that? Because you've probably never heard of this fragrance. Look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous bottle? I'm not showing you the front. I'm not showing you the name yet, but isn't that gorgeous? It is Diamond Petals from Thalia or Thalia Soti. This is a beautiful complex floral, but it has a really, now the top notes in it, it reminds me of it smells kind of like people say some fragrances, they think of fragrances as colors. I feel like this fragrance, it smells purple. And very floral with a bit of citrus in it. But this is a really complex fragrance. It definitely changes from top note, middle note to base note. When I find that this one, when it's on the dry down, that it becomes this really completely different smelling, like incensey, like incense, like a fruity incense, like a grape incense or something like that. And this is one of the most complex, intriguing fragrances that I have smelled in a while, because not too many fragrances nowadays smell so different on the final dry down as they do in the top notes or the mid notes. And who is Thalia or Thalia Soti? She is like the biggest star in Mexico, and she has been forever. And she's done she's been a dancer, a producer, a writer, and she has a series of these fragrances. Diamond Petals is only one of quite a few, and they're dedicated to her love of fine gemstones with different colors. And I thought that was pretty cool. The whole thing was pretty cool. And yeah, Diamond Petals from Thalia Soti. Maybe don't sleep on this one. I mean, it's hard to find it. It's not everywhere, but it is a great fragrance. So another one that you might not have heard of. Diamond Petals by Thalia Soti. Okay, and this next one is one of the most affordable ones here today. Quite a few of them are affordable. Quite a few of them are a little more on the higher price point side. However, this one, this is just a body spray from Hard Candy. It is called Wild Peach, Sweet Wild Peach, Grapefruit, and Prosecco. Oh, this is so nice. This is good. This is something any age can wear, especially young girls, young guys, young people. But grandma, great grandma, they can also wear this. People my age, this is any age. It just smells like fresh peach and grapefruit, and actually it's more sweet. You don't notice too much grapefruit. It's more of a sweet. It's got some edge to it, like You know, the smell of those little candies. In the States, we call them Smarties. You know that you get them at Halloween. And in Canada, they're called, what do we call them in Canada? We don't call them Smarties. We call them, hun, I can't remember what we call those things in Canada. They're called Smarties in the United States. Anyways, it's that sweet tart, kind of. It's kind of like sweet tarts, you know? So, hard candy, wild peach, sweet wild peach, grapefruit, and Prosecco. Fragrance mist. My husband just yelled up to me and told me that we call them rockets in Canada. They are called rockets in Canada, but Smarties in the United States. They're those little rolls that you get when you go trick-or-treating in Halloween. You get those little rolls of those little sweet tart kind of candies. There's some notes like that in here. Okay, we're down to it. Just a few more left. Okay, this one I got at the duty free, and I was really surprised to find it. I'd never heard of it, but you know, that's something that you learn when you start getting into fragrances. Is there's an endless amount of fragrances that you've never heard of that you're gonna come upon and you're gonna get to experience. And this one is called Bazaar from Christian Lacrois. And I like this. It is a really pretty. I was surprised that I hadn't heard of it before, because it's really fresh. It's very citrusy, and I would think it would be a crowd pleaser for sure. Something called Bazaar. Now, you know, it's not Bazaar like B-I-Z-Z or Z-Z, B-I-Z-Z-A-R-E, like weird. It's Bazaar. Like, you know, Bazaar where you go and you shop. Like the Sunday flea market or whatever, a bazaar. Or, you know, like an exotic food market. Or, you know, some like, well, anyways, you get the idea. This fragrance to me, I don't remember the notes, but it has a lot of citrus. It's very citrus, very citrusy, very fresh, but it's not really sweet. There's a little bit of, no, I would say if you're looking for a citrus that is not that sweet, this is a good one. And like I said, it's by Christian Lacrois. I bought the women's and men's version. I bought two of these, a big one and a little one, so I'd have a little one for my purse. And I also bought the men's, but I haven't reviewed the men's yet. Came out in 2002, and the nose is Bertrand Duchaffaut and Émile Bevier Copperman and Jean-Claude Elena. So, you know, I recognize those names. They've nosed a few fragrances in their day. But today, I'm not going deep into the nose history or any of that. I'm just giving you guys just a report on some of these unusual fragrances that I've discovered. All my lovely ladies and handsome gents, it's almost the end of this video. So I think right now it's time for me to make that obligatory request. If you like this video, if you find it at all interesting, please go ahead and give it a like. Or consider subscribing to this channel, please. I really appreciate my current subscribers. I don't do any promotion of any kind. I don't pay for ads. I don't pay for likes. I don't pay for views. I haven't done any of that stuff. I just wanted to see what would happen if I just try to do my stuff and not resort to any of those other little things that people like to do. I'm not saying I won't ever do it, but I don't know. I just kind of enjoy seeing what happens organically without trying any of those artificial means. So it would help me out, but it would help me out if you subscribe, but I don't want you to do it if you don't think that this information is helpful to you, because ultimately you have to cut out all of the crap out of your life and just focus on what you really like. So I hope you like this enough to subscribe. One more perfume. Okay, you lovely ladies and handsome gents, I got one left, And you might have heard of this one. It's actually not all that obscure. It's around a lot of places, but it's not one of those fragrances that you'll find. It's not everywhere you look. Like, you know, everywhere you look is like all the Gucci blooms. Everywhere you look is all the Carolina Herreras. The Carolina Herrera bad girl, or bad girl gone, good girl gone bad, good girl, bad girl. You know, everywhere you look, you'll see Chloe, Nomad. You'll see Marc Jacobs Daisy. You'll see all that kind of stuff. But you probably won't see this one very often. It is Pleats Please by Issey Miyake. And this fragrance, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. This fragrance is a joyride. It is a joyride. It is happiness in a bottle. It is so completely pleasant and sweet and floral and happy. Oh. I think it'd be really hard to be in a bad mood wearing this. It came out in 2012. It's considered a floral fruity. The nose is Aurélien Guichard. And my lovely ladies and handsome gents, please just find this one and smell it. And come and tell me what you think. Do you have this? Have you tried it? There you go. Get your nose in there. Smell it. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is so... Oh, I can smell the green. I believe I smell, did I say it was a green floral? No, it's a floral fruity. But I believe still that there's some notes in there that smell very green. But yeah, Pleats Please by Issey Miyake. This is one of those that I really would like for you. I'd like for you to go out of your way and try to smell this. Find it somewhere and try to smell it and see what you think. And come back, remember me, please, and come back and let me know. Because this, I've never smelled a fragrance that was so completely a happiness-inducing fragrance. Now, I have said before that Green Tea by Elizabeth Arden has done that, has lifted my mood. But this one, that one lifts my mood in general. But this one, it's like happiness in a bottle. It just smells so happy. How did they do that? I think the fruits I smell are probably like peach, but I don't remember the notes, so I could be completely wrong. Anyways, Pleats Please by Issey Miyake. And that's it, my lovely ladies and handsome gents. Thanks for joining me again here on Talk to the Hand Reviews. And once again, I'm Bold Reviews Lady, and I hope that you'll come see me next time. Let's have a little springtime dance, yay!